Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Carline, this is the best we can do this week, so here's to me making a video and not just bumping it. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today was something that I actually get a lot of questions about, and it's not, the questions aren't actually about this, but I think it goes back to this assumption, and it's just the fact, it's a fact. You are in charge of your own health. And I get a lot of questions about like, well, my doctor won't do this and my doctor won't do that and stuff like that. And I understand that. I understand having a doctor that you're not happy with, but it is up to you, not up to your doctor, to take care of yourself. So if that means getting a second opinion, do it. If that means, going on a crazy diet, going like all vegan or, keto or whatever it is that you think is a good idea, do it. Your doctor can prescribe you meds all day long till they're blue in the face. It is up to you whether you take them or not. And quite honestly, it sucks getting healthy. Like, it really does. Like, you have to do all kinds of things that aren't comfortable. You have to give up things that you love. Like, it's really hard to get healthy. And whether that be through depression, like actually challenging yourself with exercise or, breaking out of your comfort zone, talking to more people, meditation, just whatever it is you need, or like physical health, like, you're in chronic pain or you're having issues, with one of your organs or something like that. There are a million things that you can do to improve your life, to improve pain levels, serotonin levels, dopamine levels, like whatever it is, but it sucks doing them. I just get so many comments or questions like on my video where people are like, I wish I could do that, but my husband always brings junk food into the house or something like that. I wish that I could take the time to meditate, but I have 5 children and I'm a stay-at-home mom. That can't happen. Or something like that, where it's like you're making these excuses to why you can't get better. And I understand like not having the kind of self-control to where your partner brings home a food that you're not supposed to be eating, that you're supposed to be staying away from, and you have some anyway just because it's there and you lack the self-control. But it is up to you to increase that muscle, increase that strength of self-control. And also, if you can't start meditating or exercising or whatever it is, it's up to you to find a way to. So whether that is calling in your neighbor, to come and help you, somebody in your church, like I don't know what your resources are, or just putting on an 1.5 hour movie and going and, chilling for like 20 minutes, like whatever it needs to be. That is up to you. And you can make excuses all day long for why that is hard for you. And yes, it is hard. I will give you that. It's hard. It's not fun. It's nobody's favorite thing to do. But if you haven't tried something, try it. Because it's all about quality of life. Like you can have a miserable existence for 10 more years, wishing you were dead every day because the pain is so bad or you're just so miserable and stuff like that. Or you can take a medication that might have a side effect that might shorten your life by 2 years. But those are years that you were hiking, you were hanging out with your friends, you were talking to your loved ones about things other than your illness because you had the emotional capacity to have those conversations. It really comes down to you and what you want to do. And, another thing that comes up are boundaries with families. Like you might have someone in your family who doesn't believe in all natural medicine. They're like, oh no, don't do essential oils because it's like the worst thing, and so-and-so knew so-and-so who had a cousin who had a really bad experience, whatever. But you think that that's something you'd want to try, but you're like hesitant because they have such a strong reaction towards it. Another one that I think is honestly a little bit more common is the people who have a reaction towards any kind of prescriptions that your doctor might prescribe. And you're like, well, I've always heard you know, these terrible things. I've heard side effects and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I understand where you're coming from. And I had those fears as well, especially, you know, when you look at when, you know, your medications and you're like, may cause cancer, may cause blindness, may cause gastrointestinal issues, you know, whatever it is. And those are actually real side effects from things that I take now. But before I was taking anything, I was sick. I was almost dead. I was hating my entire life. And once I actually got on the things with the really scary, nasty side effects, I got my life back. Like, I was able to actually get out and do things. And while that's just my story, and that might not be yours, like, I want you to take a good hard look at what you are deciding about your health. Even non-decisions are decisions. So what are you avoiding about your health right now? Are you not going to the doctor because of a certain, if it is an insurance issue, I highly encourage you to reach out to someone in your community. You know, usually there's like some kind of resource center or something like that in your community. Even if it's just like the YMCA, like reach out to them and be like, hey, where can I go to find really good insurance? Because there are things that you can qualify for that you might not know on your own, but there is somebody who knows in your community. So if it is a lack of resources that's keeping you back from exploring different options with a doctor, reach out, like find out what's in your community. I talk to people all over everywhere, so I don't know where you are specifically, but a lot of areas in the US have 211. That's another resource that you can call and just see what's out there, because there might be something that can take away that barrier from you getting the help that you need. Another thing that's hard is just the self-concept. Like, depending on how long you've been sick, and again, whether that's just mental issues or physical issues, we tend to kind of build a self-concept around it. Like, I think it was Lorde had that really controversial comment about Taylor Swift. I don't know if you guys remember it, but she said hanging out with Taylor Swift was like hanging out with somebody with an autoimmune disease, because she can like only go certain places and doesn't want to go here because, you know, there's like all these bad memories and it's like emotionally traumatic for her and stuff like that. So Lorde was kind of like rolling her eyes at it. And then, you know, there was like a huge upheaval from people who actually had autoimmune diseases that were like, that's not a very nice thing to say. But the reason I'm referencing that is just that you can get that self-concept of like, I'm the girl who, I'm the guy who. And, you know, I know definitely with depression, the longer you're in it, the more you kind of get used to who you are when you're depressed. It's natural for the human experience, it's natural for the human existence to like yourself. That is something that babies are born with. That is something that, you know, most of the time you come back to throughout your life, where you just have this like self-protection. And so if you have been one person for a number of years, you can like yourself when you're depressed. You can like how that looks to other people, or the role that that puts you in, where you don't have certain responsibilities that you would have if you weren't depressed. So anyway, that's just food for thought. That's something that I've been thinking about recently, and I completely understand having barriers in between you and wellness. That is something very common. That's something very common, and I think all of us have some kind of barrier in some way or another. But it is up to you to take down those barriers. It's not up to your husband to make the appointment. It's not up to your partner to stop bringing foods in the house that you're trying to stay away from. Like, it is up to you. It all comes down to you, and it is your life that is not where you want it to be. So consider that a good kick in the ass to take a look at what you're doing. You know, are you planting seeds right now for the direction that you want to move in? Like, if what you're doing right now grows into a big tree, is it going to look the same as your life right now, or is it going to look better? And definitely as we head into the new year, I think that's important just to take a look at, like, you know, where do you want to be this time next year? Is there something that you want to start implementing that might just change your life by a percentage or two that would have long-lasting positive ramifications? Anyway, that's all I had to say. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.